What if the difference between maintaining your independence well into your 80s and ending up in a nursing home comes down to something as simple as how you wash 6 specific parts of your body during your daily shower? This isn't about expensive products or complicated routines. It's about understanding which areas of your body become vulnerable as you age and giving them the consistent, gentle attention they need to protect you from infections, skin problems, and the cascade of complications that can steal your freedom and dignity. Most people approach their daily shower on autopilot, rushing through the same routine they've followed for decades without realizing that aging skin, changing circulation, and shifting mobility require a different kind of care. Meanwhile, doctors and researchers have identified specific body parts that, when neglected, become breeding grounds for the infections and conditions that land older adults in hospitals, rehabilitation facilities, and ultimately long-term care. The remarkable thing is how simple it is to prevent these problems when you know where to focus your attention. Today, we're going to walk through 6 critical areas that deserve your careful attention every single day. These aren't random selections. They're the parts of your body that medical professionals recognize as the most common sources of preventable health problems in older adults. More importantly, we'll talk about why these areas matter, what happens when they're neglected, and exactly how to care for them properly, without needing special equipment or spending more than a few extra minutes in the shower. Let's begin with an area that most people wash quickly and thoughtlessly: your underarms. This might seem like basic hygiene that everyone learned in childhood, but your underarms become increasingly important as you age for reasons that go far beyond preventing body odor. Your armpits contain a high concentration of sweat glands and hair follicles, creating warm, moist environments where bacteria thrive. When you were younger, your immune system could easily handle the bacteria that naturally accumulate there. But as your immune response slows with age, these same bacteria can cause persistent rashes, painful infections, and skin irritation that refuses to heal. Carl, a 77-year-old man who lived independently and prided himself on his self-sufficiency, started experiencing pain when he lifted his arms. Arthritis in his shoulders made washing his underarms uncomfortable, so he began skipping this step in his shower, telling himself it didn't really matter. Within weeks, he developed redness and soreness that made wearing shirts uncomfortable. His daughter finally convinced him to see a doctor, who explained that the bacterial buildup had caused an infection that required medication and careful hygiene to clear. Carl learned the hard way that those few seconds of discomfort avoiding his underarms had cost him weeks of greater pain and embarrassment. Washing your underarms properly doesn't require harsh scrubbing or strong soaps that can irritate aging skin. Use a mild, unscented cleanser and warm water, gently washing the entire area, including any folds where bacteria particularly love to hide. Rinse thoroughly and make sure you dry completely afterward. Moisture trapped in your armpits creates the perfect environment for fungal growth, which can be even more difficult to treat than bacterial infections. The second critical area is one that literally supports your independence: your feet. Your feet carry you through every activity of daily living, and their condition directly impacts your mobility, your balance, and your risk of falling. Falls are the leading cause of injury-related deaths in adults over 65, and many falls begin with foot problems that compromise your stability and confidence in moving around. Helen, a 71-year-old woman who walked 3 miles every morning, started noticing that her feet felt uncomfortable in her walking shoes. She'd been having trouble bending down to wash her feet thoroughly during showers, so she'd taken to just letting soapy water run over them while she stood. Within months, she developed athlete's foot between her toes and fungal infections under several toenails. What started as a minor inconvenience became painful enough that she stopped her daily walks. The loss of that regular exercise led to weight gain, reduced stamina, and eventually a fall that resulted in a broken wrist. All of this traced back to neglecting proper foot hygiene. When you wash your feet, you need to do more than let water splash over them. Sit on a shower chair or bench if bending is difficult, and wash each foot carefully with mild soap and warm water. Pay special attention to the spaces between your toes, where fungal infections most commonly start. Clean around and under your toenails, where bacteria and fungus accumulate. After your shower, dry your feet completely, especially between the toes. That moisture you leave behind becomes tomorrow's infection. Your feet also tell you important things about your overall health. Changes in skin color, Persistent sores that won't heal, or loss of sensation can indicate circulation problems or diabetes complications that need medical attention. By washing your feet carefully every day, you're not just cleaning them, you're also monitoring them for early signs of trouble. The third area that demands your attention is one that people often feel uncomfortable discussing: your groin area. The skin folds in your groin create warm, moist environments that are perfect for bacterial and fungal growth. As you age and possibly gain weight, these folds can become deeper and more prone to irritation and infection. The discomfort and odor that result from neglecting this area can undermine your confidence and willingness to be around other people, leading to social isolation that damages both mental and physical health. George, an 82-year-old widower, started avoiding his weekly card game with friends. When his son asked why, George eventually admitted that he'd developed a persistent rash in his groin that was painful and embarrassing. He'd assumed it would go away on its own and had been washing the area only occasionally, thinking that too much washing might make it worse. His doctor explained that the opposite was true. Daily gentle cleaning was essential to clear the infection and prevent it from returning. Within weeks of establishing a proper hygiene routine, the rash cleared, and George returned to his card games with renewed confidence. Washing your groin area properly means gently cleaning all the skin folds with mild, unscented soap and warm water. Rinse thoroughly because soap residue trapped in folds can cause irritation. Pat the area dry completely after showering. If you're overweight or have mobility limitations that make reaching difficult, consider using a long-handled sponge or asking a home health aide for assistance. The temporary embarrassment of asking for help is nothing compared to the painful infections and dignity-robbing complications that come from neglecting this essential hygiene. The fourth critical area might surprise you because it seems so obvious: your hands. You've been washing your hands for decades, probably multiple times a day, so why single them out as something special to address in the shower? Because proper hand hygiene goes beyond the quick rinses you do before meals or after using the bathroom. Your hands touch everything throughout the day, accumulating bacteria, viruses, and other pathogens that can make you sick or spread illness to others. As your immune system weakens with age, these microorganisms pose greater risks. During your shower, take time to really clean your hands. Not just rinse them. Wash between each finger, around your fingernails where dirt and bacteria accumulate, and along your wrists. Use a soft brush to gently clean under your nails if you're able to hold one safely. This thorough cleaning removes microorganisms that hand washing at the sink might miss. Walter, a 75-year-old man, remained remarkably healthy, while many of his friends suffered through repeated respiratory infections and stomach bugs. When asked his secret, Walter explained that his doctor had once told him that thorough hand hygiene was the single most effective way to prevent illness. Walter never skipped washing his hands carefully during his daily shower, and he credited this habit with keeping him out of the doctor's office and active in his community while others struggled with one infection after another. Your hands also deserve attention because the skin there becomes thinner and drier with age, making it prone to cracking and infections. The careful washing and moisturizing of your hands during and after showering helps maintain skin integrity that protects against these problems. The fifth area that requires your daily attention is your face. Your face is your gateway to the world, housing your eyes, nose, and mouth, all of which are entry points for infections. The skin on your face is also exposed to more environmental pollutants, allergens, and irritants than skin anywhere else on your body. Proper facial hygiene helps prevent skin irritations, clogged pores, eye infections, and even respiratory problems that begin when bacteria from unwashed skin find their way into your nose or mouth. Grace, a woman in her late 70s, had always been meticulous about her appearance, but had started experiencing persistent redness and irritation on her face. She'd been using the same harsh soap on her face that she used on her body, not realizing that facial skin requires gentler treatment. When she switched to a mild, fragrance-free cleanser and began washing her face carefully with lukewarm water every day during her shower, the irritation cleared within a week. More importantly, Grace felt better about herself, more confident in social situations, and more willing to leave her house and maintain the social connections that are so crucial to healthy aging. Washing your face properly means using gentle motions with warm water and a mild cleanser. Clean around your hairline, behind your ears, around your eyes, and along your nose, where oil and dead skin cells accumulate. Rinse thoroughly and pat your face dry rather than rubbing, which can irritate delicate facial skin. If you wear glasses, clean your face includes cleaning around the areas where your glasses rest, preventing irritation and infection from developing there. The sixth and final area that deserves your careful attention is one that combines aspects of everything we've already discussed. Your private areas, the parts of your body involved in elimination and intimate hygiene. These areas are particularly vulnerable to infections as you age because the skin there is delicate, often folded, and exposed to bacteria from waste products. Urinary tract infections, yeast infections, and skin irritation in these areas can escalate quickly from minor annoyances to serious health problems requiring hospitalization. Alice, an 83-year-old woman, had experienced recurring urinary tract infections that repeatedly landed her in the emergency room. Each infection left her weaker and more dependent on others. Her doctor finally asked detailed questions about her hygiene routine and discovered that Alice had been avoiding thorough cleaning of her private areas during showers because she found it embarrassing and uncomfortable. Once Alice understood that gentle daily washing with mild soap and thorough rinsing could prevent these infections, she committed to the practice. Her infections stopped, her energy returned, and she regained the independence that the recurring illnesses had stolen from her. Proper hygiene for your private areas means gently washing all external surfaces with warm water and a mild, fragrance-free cleanser. Clean carefully in all skin folds, rinse thoroughly, and dry completely. Avoid harsh scrubbing or douching, which can irritate sensitive tissues and actually increase infection risk. For women, always clean from front to back to prevent introducing bacteria from the rectal area to the urinary tract. For men, carefully clean under the foreskin if uncircumcised. These 6 body parts, your underarms, feet, groin, hands, face and private areas, form the foundation of healthy aging hygiene. When you care for them properly every single day, you're not just preventing odor or following social conventions. You're actively protecting yourself from the infections, skin conditions, and complications that can cascade into serious health problems, threatening your independence and quality of life. The beauty of this approach is its simplicity. You don't need expensive products or complicated techniques. You need warm water, mild, unscented soap, a few extra minutes of attention, and the commitment to make these practices as automatic as brushing your teeth. Your daily shower becomes more than a routine cleaning. It becomes an investment in your future, a quiet promise to yourself that you're going to do everything within your power to maintain your health, your independence, and your dignity. Think about what independence means to you. It means making your own decisions, living in your own home, maintaining your friendships and social connections, pursuing your interests and hobbies, and being there for the people you love. Every one of these things becomes harder or impossible when infections and preventable health problems rob you of your strength and vitality. The 6 areas we've discussed today are your front line of defense against these threats. Starting today, make these 6 areas your priority during every shower. Notice which ones you've been neglecting and commit to giving them the attention they deserve. If mobility problems make reaching certain areas difficult, ask for help or invest in adaptive tools like long-handled sponges or shower chairs. Your pride might resist asking for help, but your future self will thank you for swallowing that pride in favor of maintaining your health. Share this information with someone you care about who's also navigating the challenges of aging. Talk about these practices with your friends. Remove the embarrassment and silence that prevent people from addressing these essential aspects of self-care. When we normalize these conversations and practices, we empower each other to age with strength and dignity. Your body has served you faithfully for decades. These 6 vulnerable areas now need your faithful attention in return. Give them that attention, and you're giving yourself the gift of more years of independence, more time with people you love, and more opportunities to experience the joy and meaning that make life worth living. Make your shower a place of renewal, not just of cleaning, but of quiet commitment to the person you still are and the person you're becoming. Leave a comment telling us which of these 6 areas you're going to pay more attention to starting today. Your commitment might inspire someone else to make the same promise to themselves. Together, we can change how we age, one shower at a time.